Hey guys, welcome to the video. In this one, I'm going to be walking you through the fastest way to get your first 20K a month shadow operating clients. And I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that I use and teach my clients to help you get your first client so you can start making money. Now, if you haven't watched my last video, I definitely recommend to go and watch that. It was literally just posted last week. So that one basically covers about how shadow operators make money and kind of some misconceptions you guys might have about it. So I'd highly recommend to watch that one first because that will give you a clear understanding of the business model. And once you know that, then you can dive into this video and find out how to get your client. So let's get started. Now, to start off, I need to show you guys the problem that you're facing right now. A lot of you guys are doing generic outreach and you're not personalizing it at all. So the thing is, when you approach an influencer, you need to stand out in some way because they've got a ton of followers. They get a ton of messages every single day. They're not going to check a message that looks like the rest of them, right? I've got a few strategies which I'm going to get into this video, but I've just put some examples here so you can see for yourself of things I've seen come from you guys that you've been sending, and it's not going to work. So hopefully you guys can see that these are too general and you're going to need to do something a bit more specific. And yeah, why it doesn't work, no specificity. It's coming from a need, like it's you're the one who needs the client, right? Rather than you being the one to provide value and them needing you. And as I said before, you look like everyone else. You look like someone who's just trying to get a client. And there's no proof here. Like, why should they trust you over someone else? And there's ways to show proof. Even if you don't have a client before, there's ways that you can show how you can help them without looking so generic. And the last point is, yeah, you're asking, you're not really giving. You want to provide value before you ask for anything. That's very important to remember. So what I see people doing is they go out and they say, hey, I need a client, rather than thinking about how they can help grow their business, which is more of a partner mindset and one of adding value. So the way you should think about it is, okay, let's see how I can add value to this person, right? Number one. And number two, is this person going to be right to work with? Because like there's a lot of influencers out there, and if you pick the wrong one, it doesn't matter what you do, this entire business model will fall down. It's almost like the foundation. And actually I had a call with someone yesterday and we're talking about this. Like, it's really important who you pick because this will really set the foundation of the skyscraper that you build. Okay, so let's get into the step-by-step system and you guys will understand this clearly by the end of this video. So the first one is to identify your ideal shadow operating partner. Now, what I recommend is picking one of the platforms. Now, usually 100K to 400K followers is a good amount because they're not so small where they're not going to generate enough leads or have enough people interested in something that they would offer to their audience. That's the first thing. The next thing is they're not so big where they don't check their messages, they have millions of followers, or that they don't even need the money, you know? This is the sweet spot, 100K to 400K followers. If you can find an influencer in that range on any platform, I think would be a good fit for you. The next is having engagement. Like, you guys need to check, if it's on Instagram, check, are they getting likes? Are they getting comments? Also on YouTube, you need to check the views to subscriber ratio, comments, all that type of thing. And from viewing their profile, does it look like they're struggling with a website, with an offer, or do they not even have one at all? Like, are they completely clueless on that aspect? Like, they have this audience, but they don't know how to monetize it. That's something you need to be able to look for. And as you look at more influencers, you're going to get almost like a second sense for this. it's going to be real clear at a first glance if you think you can help them, if they're going to be a good fit. The next point is that you really need to genuinely respect their work and who they are, because if you don't respect them and you don't see yourself working with this influencer, then things just won't go well. I highly recommend to see this as a long-term partnership, as in 6 months to a year minimum, because this is how you can really build this business and scale it up to 6 figures per month. As long as you can work well with this person, then that's going to make everything else easier. And then this is more of a bonus, but it does help if you can understand their niche and their audience. So for example, the first shadow operating client that I had back in 2023 was a fitness influencer. Okay. And funny enough, my first job was a personal trainer, and I studied to be a personal trainer. I worked in multiple gyms. I was super into fitness. I still am. And I knew about that niche. So as soon as I was able to, kind of work with this influencer, it was really easy to understand and, know what the audience kind of wants as well. So that's a bonus. It's not a must. It just helps. And then the next thing is if they have an agency link in their bio, like for example, on Instagram, you might see sometimes some profiles that have @agency.com, whatever. Those ones are going to be a bit more trickier because they've already committed with an agency and they are probably not, they're harder to reach in terms of working with them because they're going to say, oh, you need to go through my agency. So ideally they are a one-man band or they have a small team. If you don't see no agency links, just assume that. But yeah, if you're seeing a creator and they look like they've got a lot of people working with them, then they're probably not going to want to need your help. Now, let's move on to the platforms and where to find them. So there's more than this, of course, like there's X, TikTok. I just put the 3 main ones kind of. So as I said, with Instagram, 100K to 400K followers, engaged audience. And of course, you just need to do your due diligence, like just look at the profile and use common sense. The next is YouTube. I find that subscribers have a higher value than an Instagram follower because someone who subscribed to a YouTube channel pays more attention to the creator than someone who just follows them on Instagram. And with YouTube, I actually watch who I'm subscribed to, which I think is a big difference. That's why I've put 20K to 100K subscribers. I mean, if they have both platforms, that's a bonus. That's just 2 forms of traffic. The next platform is LinkedIn. LinkedIn works better for B2B, I find, or it could be B2C, like if you're helping, but if the customer is like a business owner. So if you have a specific offer for like a business owner, that's going to absolutely crush. Like people on LinkedIn have more money and more qualified financially. It's just about if the creator you work with can actually offer them something valuable, right? Now, let's get on to the vetting. First, just check, are they offering anything? Check their links in their bio on whatever social media platform and see what they're promoting right now. Sometimes they'll be just doing affiliate links. Sometimes they'll have like a course, or sometimes just a website that is poorly done. And that's an opportunity for you to step in and do something better, especially if they're selling low ticket because they're leaving so much money on the table. It's actually insane. And again, look at the engagement, look at the comments of people on these platforms. Like, are they asking to work with the influencer? Are they asking for something from them? Because all these little signs and vetting and making sure that you're picking the right person is going to end up in a massive success. And I know that to be true because I've done it and I've generated over 7 figures through this shadow operating business model. And it really came down to picking the right influencer and kind of sticking with that one partnership for a continuous period of time. With agency model and other types of business models like AI operations, all this type of thing, usually you guys would know it's always about getting the volume, like how many clients can you sign per month on a retainer, right? Whereas this business model differs in the fact that it's more about, let's not try to get as many clients as possible. Let's spend more time picking the right client influencer and spending more time on that one. Okay. So it's literally the opposite, but I definitely think it's like one of the highest leverage business opportunities, because you got to think about it. Like, these guys have built up their audience over years, if not a decade. Like in the case of mine, he had built up an audience over a decade, spent millions in paid ads, promoting a low ticket offer, and had never offered a high ticket offer. So that's why there's a massive opportunity in this. And I just need you guys to realize how like much money you can make with this. Now, moving on to step 2, what you want to do is you want to audit their business. Okay. So like I said, you got to check their links. Do they have a high ticket offer? Is there a funnel going on? Like, once you click on their link, do they have a link to somewhere else? Do they have an email list? Do they do CTAs? What I do recommend, if you don't want to use your personal Instagram, create a separate profile just for the purposes of gaining clients, and basically follow all the creators that you want to work with and check their stories daily, and just block out like 1 hour to check stories. I know it sounds like counterintuitive to business, because usually you're not supposed to go on social media, but you're actually doing market research, because you're checking their stories, you're seeing if they're promoting anything. And this is going to be super important, because you're going to understand if these guys know what they're doing and if you can come in and help them. So I do recommend your personal Instagram, because if you have photos, you will stand out a bit. Like, think about it. Like, if you're an influencer and someone messages you and there's no photos, there's like no followers, are you going to reply to them? So definitely, if you can, use your personal Instagram. That would definitely help you out. So the common revenue gaps that you should be looking for is there a high ticket offer? Are they just selling things under $100 because they're leaving so much money on the table here? Also, if they don't even have a link, then that's a very obvious sign they're not selling anything, and they haven't put any time and effort into the monetization aspect of their audience. And you want to see if they have like a program that they're selling already, or, just check the links in the bio. Too long, didn't read, check the links in the bio. So now we're going to get into an example of a real life influencer, so I can do this audit and so that you guys can understand what kind of influencer you should be looking for. So this is actually a creator I found a few months ago, and she's all about carnivore, right? So her name is Bella. You can see here she's got 544K followers. I know that's a bit above the 400K follower range that I was talking about before, but you're going to see why she was like super good to work with, because she just posts all about carnivore and her audience is super, super engaged. Like, if you go and check her profile, like, you're going to see so many likes, comments, engagement. She keeps posting recipes. She knows what she's doing. She knows everything about carnivore. And where I saw the opportunity is when I checked the link in her bio, there was no high ticket offer, right? So this was her website. It's a bit longer. I just took a screenshot off the top, but you can see here, $30 a month, and there's a subscribe button. So as soon as I saw this, one, I knew I could make a better website than this and increase her conversions like 10 times. And two, I saw an opportunity to do high ticket, because $30 a month for what she's teaching, she could definitely package it up into like a 3 to 5K offer and make way more money, like way more money. It's insane. Especially for what she's doing. She's got a really good niche, and I'd say she's one of the leaders in this carnivore industry, which is quite niche for fitness. Like, think about how many people do you know who do carnivore, and to have this many people following her for that is very impressive. So I've just done some estimates here of her monthly sales that she's doing currently. Probably making around 20K a month right now with her, $30 a month membership. If she was to do a high ticket offer and have it 35K, with just 10 clients, you'd be at 30 to 50K already. So let's move on to the next step, which is step 3. And that's building a custom revenue roadmap. So yeah, once you find an influencer like that and you see potential and you're like, okay, look, I think I could see myself working with this person. I like what they do. I see the opportunity gap. They're not offering high tickets. All those checklists that we covered, this is the next step. And you really want to put some effort into this because this will make you stand out. And I don't want you guys to see like, oh, this is taking so long per influencer. I got to make all these things and prepare all this information. Guys, if you can really nail this, they will be like 10 times more likely to respond to you because they're going to see that you've put in so much effort into this. So let's cover this, all right? Now, this is an example based on the Bella, who we just covered here. So the gap is she's got 545K followers, incredible transformations, but she's only offering a $30 a month program. And with her authority and results, she's leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table by not having a premium coaching offer, right? So that's the gap. Next is the solution, which is to build a 4K elite carnivore transformation, 90-day coaching program. And then you'd be building out a high ticket sales page, an application funnel, creating all the sales resources like the scripts, the processes, onboarding systems, and a roadmap of 30 days to build this, 60 days to launch, and 90 days to scale. Okay. Next is the numbers. You need to show her the numbers because they're going to make things clearer for her. 544K followers. Even if you have 0.5% of her followers just applying, which is conservative, by the way, it'll be most likely more than this. But let's go on the worst case scenario. That's 2,720 applications per month with a 5% show rate, which is insane. Like it should be at least 50% upwards, if not 70%, 136 calls, okay? From 136 calls, let's take the worst closer on earth and have a 10% close rate where it should be, again, much higher than that, 13 to 14 clients. So worst case scenario, 14 clients at 4K is 56K a month, which is way more than she's making. And then the way the partnership works is you take 30 to 50% of the sales, and that's ongoing. So essentially, you're not getting an agency retainer like the other business models. You're working on a percentage and you will make a lot more money than just retainers. 30K a month from this business model is so much easier than 30K a month from an agency. Trust me, I know, I've done it. You're working with one client, you have one system, and you're getting paid 30K a month compared to 10 clients, 10 systems, 10 communications back and forth at 3K each. This is so much better. So the way it works is you're behind the scenes 100%, running the operations, doing the systems, basically all the back end work, while they are on the front end creating the content, driving the traffic. So it's a perfect harmony because if you're watching this video, it probably means you don't want to be the influencer yourself. You want to be behind the scenes and kind of like in the shadows rather than being in the spotlight. So yeah, you want to show the potential as well for this business model. And I put 100K a month there. I'm not joking. This like that's not an arbitrary figure based on her audience and the price of the high ticket program. And if these were not conservative, there's literally potential to do 100K a month with her. So that wasn't just like, oh, to the moon, like a random figure. That's the real number. And by the way, guys, like if you do want to become a shadow operator and you really want to get going and start making money, you can click the link in the description and apply to work with me. I am quite selective just because I need to make sure you're serious since it is a very high touch mentorship and I do limit the amount of clients I have because I do give you guys my exact system that I used to generate over 7 figures through this shadow operating business model. So if you're interested, then definitely apply. So let's move on to step number 4, which is message. So plain text, just sending a text to an influencer when you're reaching out is the lowest leverage, lowest form of outreach. And I want you guys to do as less of that as possible. Okay. I want you guys to be sending Loom videos. I want you to be sending voice notes and even video screen recordings of you talking. Because on Instagram, you can click the camera button and send a direct video message in the DMs. If an influencer gets a DM and they see it was a video that's been sent to them or a voice message, I can tell you they're going to be much more curious and they're most likely to open that because, humans are curious. And if you received a voice message from someone, wouldn't you be curious to listen to it? So it's just human psychology. Like if you see a message, it lowers the barrier and need for them to reply to you because they've already seen it, they kind of already know. But if you're sending a voice note or a video message, that curiosity will get them to open or at least hear what you're saying. Okay. And a Loom video is super good because you can provide value to them right off the bat. If you send a 3-minute Loom video, they click on it, they watch it, and they see you breaking down their business, they're like, wow, this guy's like, I could see potential in working with him. He's actually serious. No one sent me a Loom video before. I'm going to reply to him. That's their mindset, okay? And another one could be a Google Doc, although Loom is better. I would go for Loom for sure. Now, where can you send these messages? Well, obviously the social media platform that you find them. If they have their email somewhere that you can find, I would definitely do that too. That's 2 touch points. If you find them on another platform like YouTube, that's 3 touch points. You could leave a comment and then DM. So yeah, just for each influencer, right? If you find one you really want to work with, then try to find them on all platforms and message them on all. The more touch points, the better, because maybe they're not checking their Instagram DMs, but they check their emails. Okay. So now we're going to get into a real outreach message that actually worked. Now, I sent this email to Bella, the Instagram account we were just looking at, and she ended up replying to this email. So pause the video if you want to read this, and we'll get onto her response. So there's 2 situations here. They either reply or they don't. Okay, very simple. And you kind of want to give them a time frame on this. So if they respond positively, that's great. Like she said, hi, yes, I'd like to learn more. So then if she does reply, then you can follow up, send that Loom, as you can see, which is the roadmap that I talked about. That Loom video, I covered quite a lot. Like I broke down her entire business, how I could help her. This is the roadmap that you want to create for them. And you can even use like this app that I'm using now, which is called Miro. You like create the board, do a Loom video, send it to them. And yeah, it's going to work so much better. And now if they don't reply, then you do want to follow up with them. So yeah, wait like a week, 5 days, and then you can send a follow-up message, something like that. If they don't respond after like 10 days, then just move on. Now I put follow-up message. You could follow up a few times. Like for the purpose of this video, just so you understand the structure, I've just put 1 here. But honestly, if it was me, I'd probably be following up 3 times. Yeah, over the course of like 2 to 3 weeks max. If I really want to work with them, I'll do like kind of an email first week. That's the initial one. Wait 5 days, send the follow-up one. Maybe wait 3 days, another one, and then maybe last Hail Mary email a couple days after that. But it'll be really, really short, like just to get them to open the email thread. So yeah, definitely follow up. But look, if they're not responding after 3 emails, just move on to the next person. Your time's valuable. And we don't want to waste it on someone who doesn't want to work with you. Okay, so let's move on. Now, there is one key principle that I want you guys to remember. And that is this roadmap, this Loom that you're going to send when they reply. It's a gift to them. Okay, it's not a pitch. So whether they work with you or not, just give this and have no expectations. It's going to be good practice for you to learn how to provide value. And if you keep doing this, you're going to get faster and faster and better, and it's going to help you get clients. Trust me. Now, let's go on to the last point I want to cover, which is a fast track hack. And it's to use mutual connections. Okay. If you guys know someone in real life that you can connect with who has an audience, this is by far the fastest way that you can start getting this business model up and running, because shadow operating is all about handling the back-end systems, setting up the digital product and service in the back end, because this business model can be set up within a month if you're really fast, even a couple of weeks, and you can be making money literally within 30 days. That's how high leverage of an opportunity this is. So if you know someone in real life who has an audience, then definitely reach out to them. And if you don't, as I talked about in my last video, the strategy for that is to ask your friends in your network, say, hey, I have an opportunity for them. Would you feel comfortable making an intro? Now I've put here, happy to pay a finder's fee of whatever, like that's up to you guys. It could be $100, could be $500. But the only reason I put that is because if the person you're asking is like someone you're not so close with, then this could literally pay because they're more likely to want to help you. If it's a super good friend and like you help them out, they help you out, then no need to put it. But it's up to you. You know, that's why I've added it here. A finder's fee could definitely speed up the process, almost expedite this entire outreach strategy. Like if you guys know someone who knows someone, man, you don't need anything else in that video. You just go straight for this. And yeah, if you can get intro to an influencer in your network, you're off to the races. And then all you need to do is know the exact system and click the link in the description to apply to work with me. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found it valuable. If you did and you want to learn more about shadow operating, then please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Happy holidays.